Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. It is only a couple hours since I was just here. Um, Sorry, not used to flying around in high sec. Um, so if you watch my last video in the series, I did find a nice little system here. Um, I just want to dock up here real quick just to show you. But I want to figure out where I was going to dock up at. There we go. Location dock. So, found one of the toughest goals in the way that I play yesterday. Was so happy that I thought I would kind of didn't spend a lot of time on my last video, devote what I wanted to talk about, at least at the beginning of this video, is that I was able to find a system that had core probe launchers and uh, scanning probes. This, if you haven't watched these videos before, this is a challenge that I'm doing for myself. Thank you. Um, where I am trying to live not using Eve gates, using wormholes. And so to do that, you've got to be able to have uh, scanning probes and core scanning probe launchers. And to do that as well, you've got to be able to either build those or buy them. Now, starting off in the career missions system, which my home system was or is currently, I could buy them. Ultimate goal is to become self-sufficient. How do you do that? As you're going in and out of high sec, going through wormholes, you pick up blueprints as they become available. By playing in this way, I'm learning more, getting more used to um, the necessity of uh, muscle memory of how to fly my ship versus just lackadaisically going from system to system. It's actually helped me a lot. I did die once, but I have skirted death multiple times, which I talked about in the last video, and I gave some pointers as to what I've been able to do there. Um, One big change today, and it kind of came across because it was kind of dumb. If you notice, when you make up your new Eve character, um, you can outfit them with some generic clothing and some really bad headgear. And I threw them on this time. These are, I think they're like aviator glasses, or you've got these 1980s futuristic sunglasses you can throw on. And as a joke, I threw them on to Amanda Rose Pilgrim. Um, and actually, they're kind of growing on me. But I was like, one of my goals will be to outfit her better. And how do you do so? Well, you have to buy it through the store. How do you do that? Well, you earn enough to get Plex to then use that Plex to buy stuff from the store. Um, I threw it down here. Better outfit, better skins, glasses. What I've done here is just create a quick notepad. I use Notepad a lot in game because I can carry it from session to session. I could use an outside of the game notepad, but I find this to be easier. Flashes, that's fantastic. Glasses. Um, don't worry, I'm going to get out there and start flying here real soon. Um, Glasses. So, but I made up this little notepad here. I use one of them for the signatures. You're going to see me use that a lot. It saves me a lot of time. And then notes as far as things I want to talk about, videos, that sort of thing. So, but right now I made up a new one. It's called Goals. And one of them is to find a place in low sec and null sec space that I can build my probes and probe launcher. Well, what happens if I die while I'm carrying these blueprints around? Because I will be. Because I'm just going to jump into a wormhole and fly around until I find someplace I want to be or die. On the way, I may pick up more blueprints. If I do die, I want to be sent back to this system so I can pick up more blueprints. Why do I know that they have blueprints? Because Core Probe Launcher and Scanner. Um, the one negative that they don't have here is they don't have, and you saw this in the last video, they don't have any ships that I can build. But I can buy plenty of ships in this system made by other people. So while it doesn't fulfill my need to build my own stuff, it is a good starting point. Um, this is Opold. Opold. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I always try to do that. They should have pneumatics, mnemonics. I don't know what it's called. Um, but just to show you this, if you're looking for a place, and this is something that might be helpful in these videos, if you're looking for a place to live, and you live in high sec, this is not a bad little place. It's got a lot of stations. Just pulling it up here on Dotland, um, just to show you. It is in Metropolis, which is Minmatar space. Um, go. Let's pull it up over here on the map. So it's in Metropolis, and it's right down here. But if you notice, there's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff. The only thing that it doesn't seem to have in this area is a place to research your blueprints. The closest spot here that isn't character made looks like it's up here in Fritludi. So, but this is a nice little area here if you're interested. This whole area here is kind of, I don't think I spent very much time at all down here. Probably because of lack, there's a, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, Tatkubad. I should just do a video where I start naming systems. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're about the same distance away. So, but it is kind of a neat area because you've got to go through Opold here to get up this way. And it's kind of a choke point right here. Hence, a lot of action or people in this system. I just saw a guy mining out here. It's a 0.7 system. I'd be a little bit careful for gankers. He was in a retriever. Um, but, okay. So, but the big thing here is I can buy my blueprints. Why is that so important? Because whenever I find the system that I want to live in, I need to be able to build my own scanning probes and probe launchers so I can get out of that system. Pretty much nothing else is as important to me as being able to do that in the system that I'm going to be living in, because everything else I can fly out and get. But if you were watching my last group of videos with William Pilgrim, that's where I got stuck. I couldn't actually do that simplest thing. The system I found was great, except I couldn't build that. So, and I was basically trying to find that stuff. And I don't want to rely on buying things off of other people. So this is a good starter system. It is not low sec or high sec, and it does not have a science research center, and it does not have blueprints for me to build ships with. I can build or buy ships here. There are some standard frigates in almost every group type. Galente, I could get Amicuses. There's plenty for sale. There's 18 of them for sale right now at a regular price. So this is a good starter home system. I think a little bit better than my career agent system. So I'm going to go ahead and update my home systems. Jump clones. Home station. There we go. So I'm going to set my home station. It currently is Trossier, which is that career agent system. I'm going to set it to the station here. So it is now there. So when I die, I will land here, and I can get started back up again. The one thing it doesn't, I think I can still, I think I could still buy some other items here too. Let's see here. Oh wait, can I? Ship equipment, relic analyzers. Yeah, in system. So I can even pick that up as well. So good. I can get started better, a little bit better than in that career station. So let's get to it. Let's pull up our SIGS notepad, undock. I'm going to keep looking for this perfect home system that is out there. Now, if I came across Rover now with, so that is my other part here. World? Should be right there. There we go. Down here. There we go. In my inventory, if you notice here, I'm carrying along with me some blueprints. Now, the one expensive one is the core scanner. It's worth 5 million ISK. So now everything else here is pretty inexpensive. Reload. So I am carrying a little bit more than I would like to, but if I find that system that I want, because I'm just basically jumping into a wormhole, I'm going to keep looking until I die or I find a new system. Or I jump out and sell my stuff and jump back in. So, now I did save a little bit of time here. I'm not going to scan things down because I scanned down 2 wormholes. I haven't checked them out yet. Let's go check them out and we'll jump in. Warp 2. No. Is that a bad thing that I do that? Stop. Thank you. Okay. I am in high sec. I don't have to warp to 100. There we go. Now, if this goes to unknown space, I'm going to go there. I don't want to go to dangerous unknown space, not because I'm afraid of it, because they won't have statics. I'm looking for statics to either low sec or NPC null sec, or even high sec. And if I'm not mistaken, ooh, this one's about to go. So this one goes to unknown space. One thing to look at is, I think by the amount that the wormhole is moving, notice how it's kind of breathing right now, means that it's beginning to decay and probably won't last another day. So this is brand new, not yet. So it's kind of just moving around there. It is pretty cool. Okay, let's go check out the other one. I don't want to go back to that system that I was at yesterday. If you saw the video, it is just weird. I don't like it. I don't know if either one of these is it. Should have kept track of that. I was just so happy to get the frick out of it and get to high sec. Current setup, I'm at 27 million ISK because I bought those blueprints. Hopefully by the end of today, if I don't die, I'll have scanned down some sites and be able to sell some stuff. Okay. Let's see you here. This is another unknown parts. Wormhole reaching the end of its lifetime. So this one's about to blip out. Wormhole has had its stability critically disrupted. Ooh. And so this one is about to go. Interesting. Question is, do I want to go in here without the chance of being able to warp back quickly, or do I want to go through the other one? I'm going to go through the other one just for the fact that I can get back, and let's say I get lucky enough to find some data sites or some relic sites to make some money. I come back, sell the stuff, go back, and then go back in. Good. Directional scanner up, saved locations here. As I talked about in the last video, when you do warp through a wormhole, be ready to try to crash back at it as quickly as possible. If anybody is sitting on that other side, yes. Always checking here. Good. Okay. Okay. So I always just warp to a random planet here. Control B. Save that. That's my wormhole 1. Control B. This is going to be my safe spot. So here we go. Let's edit location wormhole. There we go. So I now have my wormhole spot to get out of, and I can warp back to my save spot. Warp. And scanner probe. That actually makes me really happy. I was able to do all of that without thinking. It was just becoming muscle memory. What you do. I watch these guys on videos all the time. I'm just amazed at how people are able to do PvP flying, how they're able just to click back and forth, back and forth. We all make mistakes. There's so many moving parts within Eve, but the more mistakes that you can not make, the better off you are. Can I make my directional scanner smaller? Is that the smallest that I can go? I want to see more pretty stuff. So that's the smallest it'll go. Okay. So, directional scanner up. Oh, we've got a Fortizar. Ooh, and... Oh, my... I was about to say, some scanner probes. Here's the irony. The fact that I can't use Sister's core scanner probes, and I'm using basic core scanner probes, makes it easier on me because everybody uses Sister's core scanner probes, so I know whether or not I'm here or not. whether they're my probes or not. Okay, let's see what's out here. So we got a couple of sites. Let's pop this baby up. Oh wait, no, this. Okay, yeah, this is the new system. I was just paranoid. This was the same weird system that I was in the other day that only had one planet. That was so weird. It was worse than being in a shattered system. I lived in there for a little while with my old character, and I really kind of liked it. But there were no planets, but you could still warp to the blown up planets, so you had space to move. Okay, good. Hopefully this doesn't get too boring while I'm doing this. We got an advanced cruiser that is dead. That's interesting. Not sure I like that too much. Things to look for. One of my 5 ways to stay alive is look for things in system that might show you that gankers are out here, or pirate, or guys are living here who might want to kill you. And one thing that does worry me right there, and this might be the most important thing to the video, is if you see somebody else on D-Scan, just go find another wormhole. Don't mess with it, especially at the level that I'm at. This character is just over 2 days old. I'm not going to be able to defend myself against anybody. I haven't outfitted my ship that way. So if I saw somebody here, it would worry me. That said, I'm not doing my other thing. Talking too much. There we go. I don't see anybody here, but what I do see is a Caldari advanced frigate. But right here is a that means a player's ship got blown up. So either they died to these rats, or they died to somebody else. And a lot of times, it's very rare, unless somebody just messed up, they would die to rats. So that means there's a chance that somebody got killed here. So I am going to do the better part of Valor and try to see what is at this wormhole. If we can move on to another wormhole. I may be paranoid, but I'm trying to learn from my own mistakes in the past. So we're just going to warp to this wormhole. If it is to another unstable one, just a regular wormhole, or even null sec or low sec, I'll jump through it. I'm going at 100. Oh, yep. See there. There's a buzzard at 222k out. Show info. Okay. So, that does not worry me that much. He was off of the gate or off of the wormhole. So he didn't jump into that wormhole. So what I'm going to do, there he is. Oh, and there's a wolf. Okay. There's some sister combat probes. Interesting. So yeah, we're going to get out of dodge. Let's see if he's even close to. I'm going to lower my scan probes down. Yeah, he's got some scan probes out, some combat scan probes here. So I definitely don't want to hang out here. There's a buzzard here too. There's a wolf here. So that tells me, do not hang out here very long and get through here as quickly as possible. Enter wormhole. These are just things. This is number 6 on how to stay alive. Now that is frustrating. One thing you want to be careful of, I just did it. I went to enter the wormhole before I had completely slowed down. So I didn't actually enter it right away. Good. Hopefully nobody's on the other side here. Okay. Planet 7. Warp within 100. Control B. Oops, this is a wormhole. Wormhole. Control B. Save 1. And submit it. D-scan up, D-scan up, D-scan up, D-scan up. So notice no wreckage. And there we go. Get my probes up. See what we got here. Feel a lot safer here. Not that it is totally safe. There is a guy in the system next to me that could blow me up. But a lot of times those guys will just sit in systems like that because they're off of a high-sec system. And they're looking for people like me. So we'll go ahead and get started again here. Space Ottawa. We got some French people? Or, I'm sorry, some Canadian? Iridium home base. I wonder what they're going for. Okay, so we got a couple of wormholes here. That's probably the wormhole that I just came through. It's right on top of my wormhole safe spot. Yeah, that's what that is. Might as well scan it down, then it's out of the way. So we will go ahead and pull up our SIGS notepad here. And what I'm going to do now is set this up. If I'm going to be here, my kind of goal is now to scan down each one of these sites, see if any of them are lucrative. Before I do that, I have to get back into the rhythm of doing this. If you watch my last video, I talked about ways that you can stay alive out here when you are an alpha player. One thing that saved me, keep doing this while I'm talking. That way everybody isn't completely bored. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, fine. There. Oh, analyze. Is to point in a direction and start flying in that direction. I talked about this in the last video. I'm going to spend a lot of time. But what I like to do is, when I get to my save spot, start moving in that direction so that I put my micro warp drive on. Oh, is there an easier one for me to find here? There is. We will go find you. Path of least resistance. And like I said yesterday, there were two Lokis that actually combat probed me down while I wasn't directional scanning. I saw them pop up into my overview, and since I was already burning away from my safe spot, by the time they warped in, I was already 50 to 100 kilometers away, so they couldn't lock me down. That is a gas site. Okay, let's keep on moving on, moving on. Why did I just do what I did? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. There we go. So I have no need to scan down a gas site anymore. So let's keep adding these on here. We've got JSS. Oops. DJU wormhole. JS gas. CY is a wormhole. This is treasure hunting for me. This is something that is very active gameplay, especially on day 1 or day 2. Some people could go do some ratting, some people could go do mining. This is totally fun for me. Go. All I'm doing is scanning down each one of these and then checking to see. Analyze. Then I will warp around. If there's any relic or data site, I'll go and try to clean those out. Other than that, I'll check out the wormholes and see if any of those go to high sec or low sec or null sec. Another wormhole. Get a lay of the land and maybe find a home system. Once I find the home system, it'll open up my gameplay a little bit more. JSS, KHY, wormhole, KIF, and MIN. Any more here? TLM. Long-term goal, find a system, be able to make my own stuff, be able to still use my scanning ship to get stuff, be able to slowly ramp up, start doing some combat sites, get to a point at that point where I deem it my home system, if it's the one I want to stay in long term. Okay, good. And then actually maybe get into some PvP. If anybody ends up joining me there, start defending it, defend the gates, defend the sites that are there. That is hugely long term, but to start from the very bottom, I've done 2 jobs like that in my life where I started as a temp or a part-time person and worked my way all the way up to management, not upper management, but middle class to upper middle class, not upper middle, like I'm talking. Look what I'm wearing. Doing well, living where I don't have to, not at my. So I'm thinking, same thing here. You never know what can happen if you put the time and the effort into something with something that you really enjoy. I think I'm just talking to hear myself talk now. Okay, there we go. Double check descan. Oh, we got a buzzard. Now, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? So I scanned once, scanned again. So he may have cloaked up. I want to be careful with that. Now he could just be traveling through. What I want to do now is keep an eye out for either some sister probes or combat probes. I want to keep this D-scan going a little bit more. It's an unsecured frontier. Okay. Any more that have been pre-scanned? Looking for these little bubbles here that mean that I can go down to a 4 instead of going to an 8 to scan them. Notice now that I saw that buzzard, I'm de-scanning a little bit more. Okay, so the top one didn't work. I overheard somebody say when you get these scans that pop up. Okay, so, ooh, combat probes. Okay, so combat probes. Good, good, good. So let's have some fun. Planet 9. Warp within 100. Save 1. Save 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of safe spots here. Good. Safe spot 2. Now, I'm out of his scan probe range. Let's see if he can find me. We're going to warp back to safe spot 2. Then once I see those probes show up within 14.3 AU out here, I will see. Part of it is I'm kind of creating the illusion that possibly I cloaked up. I brought in, what I want to do is bring in my combat probes, or I'm sorry, my regular probes here. So let's see if he keeps looking for me. Let's get on the move. So I'm out here. I flew in a direction, I was here, flew in a direction toward here, made a safe spot here. Next way I will go is number 8 to make another safe spot there. Actually, let's go ahead and make one. I want to see if he's still got his probes up. And while I'm going here, I can create my other save 3. So you'll see my bubble move across here. So I did not see the combat probes pop up again. So what I'll end up going ahead and doing is Remember how I said earlier you can planet. Let's warp back to save spot 2. 100. And I'm going to put my save spot in just as I leave. This is a nice big system, so it's pretty tough for somebody to find you. So I don't mind staying in this system. There we go. He may have already moved on. I'm not going to take that chance. So pop these up. I will keep my D-scan up and going. I will get myself moving in one direction. I just want to finish up scanning these sites down, and then I will probably log off. So I have the sites saved. That's another wormhole. A lot of good stuff going on here. I kind of like this system. This might be a good system for me to live in wormhole-wise for a little while to... Notice I'm keeping this D-scan up and going. To see if it has a static high sec or low sec, then that would guarantee me being able to go in and out to find some spots. D-scan still going. Oh, I need to finish off. So that was min. Then we got TLM. Good. Min was a... Did I scan down min? XXI. It's a wormhole. Okay, another wormhole. A lot of stuff going on here. It's good. Like I said before, if you really wanted... I've never played Dark Souls or the Elder Scrolls or whatever it is. They say those are really tough. If you want a tough game that's always active, Eve can be that. I know it's got this idea of being spreadsheets in space, but if you want to actively play, boy, this is a way to do it. TLM was a data unsecured. Seared. Doesn't matter. Why am I needing to fix my spelling? Okay. I think my dog just heard me and is scared. Nope, she just went outside. Still no comment props. I think he might have moved on, but I'm not going to take that chance. If he's just sitting in a data site waiting for me, well, there are no data sites here. CLZ? Oh, I haven't scanned that one down. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan down min and CLZ, and then I'm going to warp to these wormholes. And Feeling a little bit more comfortable. Feeling a little bit more comfortable with about not having somebody in here. I haven't seen any combat probes since I warped around. One of the best 30 minutes of gameplay I ever had was I was out in Stain, um, scanning down some sites there, and this is back whenever I first came back to Eve about a year ago. And this guy came in. He was trying his hardest to combat probe me down. And out there, you're in a high sec system, or low sec, NPC null sec, that's what it is. So they can see you on local, and he saw that my character was really young. So he thought I was just moving around to move around. And I was constantly keeping an eye on my range and watching his probes zero in on me, and then I'd warp to another safe spot, and then he would zero in another spot, and I'd warp. And I talked to him later on. He said, "Well, I saw that you were a young player. I was kind of hoping that I could kill you." And I was having so much fun, and really, I was kind of creating content for him, frustrating content, but big content for me. You don't need to blow things up to have content. As long as you're interested, it's kind of like remember the old Berserk? I think that's the old game. I used to love that game where you're just running around trying to shoot things and not die. Okay, so this is a data site. This is a level 3. Is it unsecured or no? I'm scanning this down. I'm not going to go to it. It's a level 3. If it is a regular data site, because that guy could still be in system. Unsecured. Okay, but it's good for me to know so that data unsecured. Okay, last one, CLZ. Wait. TLM. Okay. So the most important part here that I'm doing is I'm keeping track of everything. So I'm going to log off, go get some lunch, do some yard work, come back in, and I won't have to scan all these down again. I won't have to scan down JSS or the two data sites. If anything new pops up, I'll know that they might either be a wormhole or a relic or a data site that I might be able to get some money off of. So the big question is, how lucrative are these wormholes? If there's a low sec or a null sec wormhole here, I'll jump through and see what they are, but I might stay in this system to use it as my kind of scouting system, because as those wormholes open and close, they'll be taking me to other areas, which will give me some feel for a really good chance of finding a new home system that I can live out of. Plus, I've already got some save spots saved in here. I can switch. These are set for 2 days. I can set them up for a lot longer. Notice I'm still just kind of randomly hitting my directional scan, making sure that nobody's around. There's a rush to whenever you do find like a relic site, another wormhole, or a data site, especially a lucrative data site, or definitely a relic site, because once you get there, it's trying to get in. There could be somebody there. The one spot that you could get killed at doing this is there. There's no defense other than quick reflexes, keeping an eye out and knowing what to go after. Even if you're even if you've got a cloak, you open yourself up to being insecure um, by trying to open up a can. Okay, almost done. CLZ is a wormhole. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to warp to each one of these at 100 and take a little note as to where each one goes. As I said yesterday, and I'll constantly say it because I want people to know how to do this without dying, I always warp at 100, check out the wormhole first, and then I'll work back to the safe spot. If it's one that I want to go through and check, then I'll warp back at 0, but never warp to it at 100 because there could be a guy sitting there waiting to kill you. So let's go ahead and show info. So dangerous unknown, so I don't need that one. So dangerous unknown. So what I'm looking for are a couple of things. Wormholes that go to high sec, low sec, or null sec. High sec to sell things at, low sec to sell things at, or to live in, or NPC null sec to live in. Show unknown. Okay. The size of the wormhole doesn't matter to me because I am in a frigate. I'll be in a frigate for quite some time. So that's not a big thing. The age of the wormhole right now doesn't really matter to me because I'm just checking stuff out. Whether or not it'll last 4 hours or a day or whatever. Really, this is just a scouting mission. Show info. Unknown. So we got 2 unknowners. Okay. Whoops. So we're here. Where's the next one? Let's get our probes in. Don't need those sitting out there. That just says, hey, come kill me. Okay. Unknown parts of space. So JSS is unknown. So we got a lot of unknowns here, which means no static so far to low sec or null sec. Not sure I like that a whole lot. KIF. Oops. Put that on my gas one. There we go. That was weird. I've got a gas site that is unsecured. Show info. Dangerous unknown. So another one I don't really want to bother with. Last but not least, so you learn about these systems too and what they're like. This one here, if this doesn't have a low sec or null sec spot, then that means there is no static to this that goes to a safe area. So I wouldn't want to live here long term. I am going to log off here just because I've already scanned everything down, and I'll be able to, when I come back, low security. Ooh, okay. Let's go check her out here. Low sec. Maybe there is one. So number one, what I'm going to do is warp to my safe spot 1. I'm not going to fly directly at it. You've seen me do that every once in a while. I've seen somebody in system I don't really want to take that chance right now. when I can just warp away and then warp back to the actual wormhole straight out. So we'll find out whether or not this is to a decent low-sec system. Okay, warp to 0. I gotta remember to wait until I fully stop warping to try to enter the wormhole, because you can do it too fast and then your ship doesn't move and then somebody could blap you. So that, again, one of those muscle memory, mind memory, muscle memory things. Okay, so enter wormhole. There we go. And then let's hit our micro warp drive. Get there a little bit faster. So this is low sec. Got Digital Wraith here in low sec. Is he sitting outside the station? No. There is a station here though. And Gusendal in Heimatar. Interesting. Control B. Wormhole. Okay. Let's just dock up. Just want to see what this is like. So there's some shuttles for sale here. Fantastic. Nothing I really want to build. There's a Fortizar here. That is interesting to me. Fortizar. Owned by Radian Logistics, member count 1. Just a random Fortizar sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So, big thing here is there's nothing really here in system that I want. Does have a clone bay. So one thing I am looking for is a place that has a clone bay. Doesn't have manufacturing. There's a Fortizar here, but I don't want to rely on somebody else's station because I could easily just be locked out from it. So yeah, while this is an okay system, it's not exactly where I want to stay. And there isn't nearly as much stuff that I could buy or sell here. And if I were to kill things here, I can't build anything here in this NPC station. Like I said, I could do it with the player-controlled station. So I'm going to warp back into my low sec or my wormhole hole. I would think about scanning these sites down while I'm here, but there is somebody else in system, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to go back to the wormhole. And this is kind of like me docking up. I'm docking up in my wormhole. I'm going to go to one of my save spots and just log off. Digital Wraith. So one thing to look for, see they're at -2 security status. So they probably killed some people. Another thing I want to get into is just going to these sites and checking them out, like this ruined Minmatar outpost. But I'm not going to worry about that until I get situated. That's going to take a bit. I still want to explore. Okay, got nobody out here. Let's go to safe spot 2. I like safe spot 2. Warp within 100. D-scan, still nobody out and about. This is one thing I wouldn't mind seeing CCTV fixed. Whenever you first get out here, it will do, this little box here won't fix itself. I don't know if that's fixable. Any probes? Nothing. So I kind of like this spot here. There's nothing around. So we will go ahead and log off safely. Oops, I'm invulnerable. We will log off safely. Oh, that's about it. Wasn't able to make any money, but I now have a system that I can mess around with. I've got my notepad set up here so that I can stay alive a lot easier and know where I'm going. Um, I, there is a chance that there is a low sec static here, um, and I know that. So the next time I boot up, if XXI is gone, but there's a new wormhole to low sec, that means there's a static, so I'm good there. Good start to the day, and I've got my probe launcher and my probe blueprints. So if I do find a home, I can just live there. So that's about it. Um, Sorry I couldn't make any money, but did some stuff, and I did some dodging there. So you saw somebody try for a brief moment to try to kill me. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to go mow the lawn a little bit more. It's a constant fight and a battle, and I like getting out in the sun and get some food. You guys have a great day. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however you want. Have a good one.